Okay. Outgrowing people means in every aspect of our life that we come in contact with throughout our day. That means our job, the random people that we don't really know. We only know them at the on the level of, lunch break level. This means, let's say you work in a big corporate office, and when you take lunch, you come across, conversating with different people from different departments. So like, you do not see the 40-year-old guy going to sit next to the 19 or the 20-year-old at a lunch break. You would see him, like trying to find a common ground with someone that's like at a close age group than he is, right? So what does this mean? You have to watch out what this person is saying, because everyone is evolving, growing, um, even if they're not changing, but they're still like reaffirming, strengthening their current belief. So this means with your friends, like, for example, with me, I was never really aware like I am the past 2 years about having a kid, worrying about biological clock, worrying about my age, these type of conversations. I was not aware of them before 2 years ago, because as we are growing older, my friends, my circle is also growing older. But the trick is, in which direction are my friends are leaning towards, and which direction am I leaning towards to, right? That's what's making our life a different. Like, that's why you see people that are in their late 20s already settling down with kids, but not necessarily living a fulfillment life. And then you see others in their late 30s getting married, have their career and living, like, what's really the rush within that 10 years? That all falls back to what that person eats, what that person thinks, what that person feels, right? That is helping him to rejuvenate his whole body, his organs, cleansing his system. That all falls into what we eat, what we think, right? So when my friends, we can't, like, like, I start paying attention to some of the things, because my friends are now completely focusing on children, marriage. Like, as we're growing older, I'm not really caring about that subject, or not really worried in that department, because what type of thoughts am I entertaining? Just because our age is the same, it doesn't mean we think the same thought. Our worries are the same. No, it doesn't mean that. Where are these people, like, spending their time? I can't expect to have a common ground with a friend of mine that goes out and get a couple of drinks, 3 to 4 days out of the week, and dating different guys, just discombobulated, cannot or agree with me, like, after 30 going back to school, like, reshaping my life, right? We're not on the same page. This person is like operating from fear and from just discombobulated, um, energy of their lives. So this is when we say, oh, and instead of what's wrong with me, I'm 30 something years old, my friends are like talking about this, how come I don't care? And instead of blaming ourselves, sit, right, and observe yourself and observe your friends. What are they saying? What are they thinking? Is it benefiting them? Is what they say benefiting me, right? If you don't want to lose them completely out of your life, that's okay. Just try to spend less and less time with them. Give them an excuse. Like, they will understand, as long as you keep them in touch. You keep them in the loop of, just giving them a little bit of, like, the breadcrumbs game, right? They'll get used to it. Oh no, she went back to school. Okay, yeah, whatever. You know, first they would try to keep you in their loop, just planning, oh yeah, we'll do this, we'll change this. But then when you decide to do it, they're gonna back away. So, like, if you love this person, if you don't want to lose them, you can still keep them in the loop, not necessarily, what is it, bragging of what you're doing, right? Just understand them. There's a reason why they are where they are. Everyone thinks they're doing the best on the level of their mentality. Therefore, you tell them, right? It's not like you're hiding what you're doing from them, but you know what a person wants to talk about and what they deny. So, like, you don't need to spend your energy trying to convince this person. But what you have to be careful of is not be affected of what they say or what they're, because when you think about it, that's their truth right now. Right now, you guys are 30 plus, your time to worry about kids and your health. Okay, they're drinking 4 days out of the week. They're not gonna feel their best. They see the under eye. What they don't understand is they don't see you every day. They're expecting the same thing for you. Why? Because they are projecting what they feel of themselves. Why? Because you guys are the same age. They've known you since college, since high school, since birth, right? So they expect you to be moving on the same pace or direction as them. So they argue with you. But don't hate them, because what you need to think about is like at what direction these people are, leaning towards, and why are you thinking like them? Are you like, in a bad situation, in a worse situation than they are, or are you just choosing something better? Right? Like, look at you. You feel good when you look at yourself in the mirror. Look at your under eye. We're the same age, but look at our under eye. Look at your body. Why do you think you look the way you look? Why do you think you are able to lose this much weight this quick? You're back in the 130s, basically like 3 pounds away from being 130, and 130 is perfect for your body weight. For your height and age, right? It's because you sit and try to understand your body. You're helping your body, and when you help your body, your body helps you produce positive, pure thoughts, good thoughts. So you can't help it that you feel good. You can't help it that you have a clear direction of your life. You know what you're going to do. You know what kind of life you want to live. You see, you are in touch of who you are. You're not spending half of the time just drinking and just feeling tipsy and try to bypass your feelings. No, you're feeling your feelings. You're feeling your pains. You're not running away from who you are and what you are. And that is a beautiful thing. Not everyone is capable of doing that. You understand? So this is especially dedicated for the millennials, the people that are like me, like the 80s. I was born in 89. So people that are like, like the 80s. I feel like we have a deeper understanding in life than the 2000 and plus. For some reason, there's just something, a consciousness shift that has occurred within the last 10 years, or 20 years actually, I should say. So take advantage of that. Feeling young, looking young. Who said that you have to have a baby before 40? Yes, the majority choose to have babies before 30s. That's why we don't have a lot of people having babies in their 50s. And, okay, 60s might be too late, but we have seen people having kids in their 50s. It's all about how much you take care of your body. It's not like it's impossible to have a baby, after 45. No, that's not the case. So you have to be able to pay attention to what your friends and your surroundings are saying, because you are outgrowing certain things, and you can't expect to get along with those that are not doing what you're doing. Again, this is like your coworker that is the same age as you. He's more likely gonna try to talk to you, right? Because why? He feels like you guys are the same age. What he says does not have to make a damn sense to you. Just bypass it. Why? Because hey, he thinks he's 31 and he's old, and that's why his back is hurting, his knees are hurting, because he's expecting getting old means getting sick. So fuck that. That's not who you are. Forget it. Let them be who they are. You be who you are. By the time you're 35, 36, you're going to have your degree. You know, you're a flight attendant for a main line. You're traveling all over the world. You're going to meet someone beautiful. Before 45, you will have 2 babies back to back. It's just you have at least 10 years before you start to worry about having kids. And it's not even like I'm thinking about it a little bit right now, but it's not even like how my friends are worrying about it. And I think it's not a big deal because there's always adoption. Like, I can't think like that. I feel like a kid myself. I don't have anything. Why would I have a baby? I feel like babies are responsibilities. And I'll show them miracle. I believe and I will be the miracle. And I want to be.